all right, welcome back to Orange Peelers. What round was it? Round three. Round three review, preview round 4. What did you think of the week of footy?
Awesome as well. Just
Another awesome weekend.
Yes. Literally not a single bad game.
Not
Actually,
really.
Not
I don't
really.
know if I'd go that far.
Not really, to be honest.
I remember at the end of last week, like, we were doing our predictions and stuff, and right at the end, I was like, there'll probably be a few upsets, and we'll probably get a bunch of our tips wrong. And that's exactly what happened.
I think I got 4 this week. Something dreadful.
Yeah, and you got more than me because we had the same.
A good score for this year so far.
Yeah, I think so. I think you got 5 actually, maybe.
Me.
Because I think I got 4, and you got 1 more than me.
I got the Dolphins. I got South wrong.
You got Titans.
I got Titans, yes.
Broncos
I got
Bulldogs.
right. Cowboys I got wrong. Dogs I got. No, yeah, I got 4.
Yeah.
And we're the experts. We're the ones on the
podcast. You didn't go to any footy games. Oh no, yeah, you did. You did go to the footy game. Yeah, that's right.
Still Trelliance, always was.
Joey Arntt's.
Always will be Trelliance.
Joey Arntt's.
No, always was.
How
always
was
will be.
that? I've seen some videos and stuff from that game. It looked like the crowd looked hectic.
Even if you're not a Rabbitohs Roosters fan, you've got to go to that game.
Yeah.
That was incredible. Literally the best live game I've been to.
Yeah.
Like, the stadium's just so cramped
Have you been
together.
to like finals and stuff?
I went to the prelim last year, Rabbitohs Panthers, but don't talk about it.
Would you put the Roosters Rabbits game on the weekend like atmosphere-wise?
Best one I've been to.
Yeah, wow.
Atmosphere-wise. Like, the stadium's just so cramped, and like you're literally above. Like, Kalormatungi scored that first try right in front of us, and they were literally like right there.
Yeah, wow.
Like, so
Have you been to CommBank?
No, I haven't yet.
Because I was going to say, what's it like compared to CommBank? Because I think it's now a bit similar.
I heard it's similar, but I've never been there. But I heard CommBank's the same. It's very cramped and like very close to.
Yeah, that's exactly, and it echoes as well.
Yeah, that's what it was like there.
Which is like builds the atmosphere so much better. That's like I've always said, NBL games, if you get to go to like a basketball game, their purely atmosphere is like better than NRL.
Yeah.
Like apart from grand finals and origins. And it's because it's like inside and cramped and it just echoes.
It's louder.
And so when you get games at like CommBank and Allianz, because was it full?
It was pretty much, yeah.
Because like even games at
36,000,
CommBank, it can be half full and it still like echoes. And so imagine like if it's full.
And then you go to good old Accor, where it's just
Yeah, and then you get like the Good Friday is usually a pretty good atmosphere.
But that's because they cut the ticket prices and they're a lot cheaper to go.
But then like you get 40,000 fans, it's still half empty.
Yeah,
that's just dumb. Like, I wonder if Roosters
the top seats are still. Like,
they don't even like
Roosters Rabbitohs only get like 20,000.
I was going to say, I wonder how many they'd get at Accor.
Yeah, it's normally
Most
between
Roosters fans don't travel as much.
But the South fans don't travel out there either.
And like at Allianz or Trelliance or Joey Arntt's, it's now got a bit of meaning to it being yours. Moore Park.
Yeah.
At Moore Park.
No. We get a home game there this year as well.
Yeah, how many? Just one?
Just one, yeah. And Roosters fans aren't happy about it.
Yeah, I bet they aren't.
They are pissed that we got that.
Because you just play all your home games at Accor.
Yeah.
I was thinking that...
I'm just realising just how stupid it is that we're playing when Moore Park is like right next, like up the road from our training ground and whole facility, and we're playing out. I don't understand it.
But then it's like right next to the Roosters headquarters as well.
And we'll talk about it more with one of my 3 questions that I have a bit, which is regarding like stadiums.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if this will step on the toes of your question, but I was about to say, because I saw a Facebook post, like I think it was a Bulldog fan was going off saying, we need our own stadium. And I said, and like we've been saying that for years, all the fans want Belmore to be our stadium and stuff.
I've got a question regarding that.
Yeah, I was thinking, how do Bulldogs and Souths, I might be biased, but I think Bulldogs and Souths easily 2 of the biggest Sydney clubs. It's probably like Bulldogs, Souths, Roosters, and then maybe Eels as the bigger.
Don't put Roosters in there.
You would. Well, I think they are one of the bigger clubs.
Eels, Dragons.
And they're not really Sydney, and Dragons. I don't know if they're that big.
Dragons.
Yeah,
no, they've got a pretty big fan base.
I don't mean like from a fan base. Like I guess fan base taken into it, but just the club as a whole, value and stuff. And like Bulldogs South, like I think it's undoubted. You can't argue that they're 2 of the bigger clubs at least, and that they don't have their own stadiums.
Yes,
like Souths as well. Like you don't have your own stadium.
Can't
How is that
Redfern,
possible?
though. That's the thing. It's way.
But I think they deserve their own stadium to be built.
They do. They're getting a facility built down in Coogee as we speak.
I really don't understand how... we have Belmore and we play 2 games at Belmore. But, like, South are probably even worse because you don't have anywhere. Like, you don't go and play a game at Redfern. I just find it hectic that...
But people have been asking for a game in Redfern like the Dogs have done with Belmore. But Redfern,
it's not the same.
It needs, like, a whole redo if they're going to do that. It's just way too
And that's
small.
the thing people don't understand. from the 90s until 2015, the Bulldogs didn't play at Belmore.
I know.
Because it was like Redfern Oval. It was unplayable. And then they did heaps of work on it. But yeah, that's enough about my little stadium rant. Let's get into
it later.
Let's get into the podcast. We'll review our predictions from last week. Obviously, we touched on that a little bit. We both did terrible. The Manly game, though, we started the week strong.
We did. I was confident Manly could get the job done, and they did in the end.
That was a good game. Wasn't that a cracker? So we both had Manly 1-12, and we both had Garrick anytime, and
we did
both correct. And then the Dolphins
first try scorer.
He was first try scorer. So is that double? I think that's double points. And then the Dolphins Knights game, I said 13 plus Dolphins. You said 1-12. I think they won by 14.
16.
Or did you say
16.
13 plus?
No, I said 1-12, I believe. But
I
didn't watch this game because I was on my way up to Sydney.
It was all right.
Yeah,
it wasn't bad, but it just, I think just what you expected to happen happened.
Yeah, exactly. Knights just aren't good, aren't they?
Yeah, we'll get to that. It was Hammer anytime we both had, and he scored.
Of course he did.
And then South, we both had Souths to win. I said 1-12. You said 13 plus. We were both wrong. And then I had Cameron Murray to score, and you had Trell Mitt to score at Trelliance.
Couldn't believe he didn't.
And neither of that happened as well, so not good
nearly
there.
went with Keon Kolomatangi.
And he scored, didn't he?
Yeah, he did the first try, right in front of me.
Yeah.
Like that, yeah.
And then
thought Trell Mitt would have to score on his own ground, but...
Well, it's not his ground anymore, I guess. And then Storm Titans, I said Storm 13 plus.
You did. And I said Titans 1-12.
And
Look at me.
And you got, and I said,
was my bold call.
I couldn't believe you said Titans. I was like, whoa. But you did it. You pulled that through, so I'm impressed. And then you said Brumo to score. I said Katoa.
Brimson, he assisted one.
He didn't score. He set one up, and he probably could have scored it too.
That one, but...
And then we both said Cowboys 1-12.
I did, but I had a feeling the Warriors couldn't really be up for this game.
We did have our doubts about the Cowboys.
I do like the Warriors this year.
Yeah, I hate to say it, like coming up against them this week, but I'm very nervous. And then I had Tuolungi, and you had Chester, who actually did score a try. Yeah. And I couldn't believe you went Chester. And then we both
ran until the Doggies game. Who I had.
We'll get to that. I've got a note here. Don't worry. So we both said Broncos 13 plus. I want to give a big shout out to you because you said 34-12. You gave an actual prediction. You said 34-12. It was 40-18, which is the exact same margin.
The margin, yeah.
You got the margin right, and then we both got our try scorers, which was you said Mam, I said Cobbo.
Yeah.
So.
Which, this game should have been a lot closer than what it turned out to be.
Well, it was 18.
Doesn't sum that game.
Yeah. And then the Bulldogs game, I said 13 plus Bulldogs. You said 1-12, which, thanks to a Luke Brooks masterclass at the end, ended up being
Bulldogs
correct.
choke, you'd have to say.
Yeah. And then our try scorers, I said Josh Reynolds. I said Josh Reynolds, who was 18th man who didn't play.
Than you were, so.
I don't know. You said, as you said, Ockenbaugh, who didn't play a single minute. He sat on the bench. Josh Reynolds and Ockenbaugh both sat on the bench for 80 minutes because Reynolds was 18th man. My dreams were shattered, Zane. My Josh Reynolds homecoming, I called it for months. And then the Sharks-Raiders game, I said 13 plus for Sharks. You said 1-12. Both wrong. Raiders got the win. And then I said Talakai, you said Moylan. Neither of them scored.
But looking at, I had a feeling, all the upsets that happened this week, I had a feeling could have happened. I looked at them, I'm like, I would not be surprised if there was an upset.
So, Warriors,
Raiders. Warriors, I wasn't surprised. Raiders, I wasn't surprised.
Well, and you called Titans.
Yeah, I called the Titans one, yeah.
I think just the Roosters one caught you off guard.
Yeah, don't mention that until round 27.
So I actually added up the totals this week, Zane.
You did?
Out of 16, so obviously 1 point for the margin and then 1 point for the try scorers. I got 6 out of 16, not even half, and you got 8 out of 16.
So half.
So you beat me by 2 and you got exactly half.
Keep it going this week, eh?
So well done. All right. Let's get straight into the review of the games. So obviously Manly and Eels was the Thursday night game. You watched that game, I assume. What do you think?
Awesome
game of the round, would you say?
No, I wouldn't say game of the round, but it would be up there.
Game.
It was an awesome game to watch. It just kept switching. The first 20 minutes, I'm like, geez, Manly got to pump it in.
Yeah.
I only got back into it, and Trbojevic, incredible. luckily I had him in my fantasy team and Jermaine Hopgood. Thankfully I didn't captain him.
Oh, I captained him.
I know a lot of people that did.
And like I'd captained him the week before, so.
And you're messaging me like I've broken him. I'm like,
yeah, that's right. I made because you traded him in, hey.
Yeah.
And I said to you, you're the reason that he's failing.
But yeah.
What did you make of the Eels? Because every week on here we've said that they look good, but they can't win.
People need to lay off them because they have been good.
Do you still agree that they look good? Because I still think they look good. I think they look like a top 8 side.
They don't look shit. That's the thing. Like people think they're in 16. I think it's round 3. They've had hard games.
They're 0-3, but they're not playing like an 0-3 side.
Yeah, they've been good enough.
They've been good.
They'll be fine. Like once they get.
They were one offload away from winning this game.
Yeah.
When Jermaine threw that intercept, like that game was
theirs.
theirs.
They could have won from that point.
Yeah, they were coming for him. Yeah, I think Eels were going to go on to win it, and they scored like right after.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Anyway, so I think they definitely would have scored again at least.
And another thing I want to take out of this game is Clint Gutherson and Mitchell Moses are probably the 2 biggest sooks in the NRL. I swear, like every week. They're always just at the referee complaining.
I don't know if it was this week or the week before. I feel like it might have been the week before. I saw it on TikTok. They're making a tackle on the try line, defending their line, and he slipped off the tackle to yell at the ref. It's like, what are you doing?
He's literally yelling at the ref during play. He did it in the grand final as well.
He did it in Origin as well. Like when he was at fullback, I don't remember what game it was. It must have been when Teddy got injured or something, and Queensland made a line break, and instead of him coming over to cover, he just turned to the ref and complained. So do your job and then complain.
Need to do a poll to the ref and ask who's the most annoying captain. I'd say Moses would win. Oh yeah, Gutho and Moses. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Gutho especially, he does tend to sook a lot.
He does,
and he's a good player and everything, but he's just such a sook. If you want to complain to the referee or talk to the referee, that's fine. Until the play stops. But wait till the play stops. Don't take yourself out of play, no matter what the play is. If it's a tackle or defending or attacking or anything, finish the play, try and stop the try, and then complain.
Yeah, I know.
What are you achieving? You're making it worse for yourself if you're complaining before trying to stop the try.
It's going to really blow up for him one day. He's literally going to stop and complain, and there's going to be a try score. It's probably already happened.
Well, that's with that tackle. What if he goes on to score that try because he fell off?
Yeah.
Then what's he going to do?
Yeah,
I thought, we just said, Eels looked really good. I think Manly, they look good.
Yeah, but I'm still waiting for Manly to have a bit of a challenge before I'm more confident.
You wouldn't call Eels a challenge?
I mean, another level. I want to see them go up against Penrith or the Rabbitohs, which they are this weekend. I want to see how they go.
Yeah, that'll be a cracker game.
Because we remember when they last made the top 4 in 2021, they were flat track.
Yeah.
They couldn't beat the top teams, but they could beat the teams below them.
And they put 60 on the low teams, but then did they lose to Souths in the finals?
Yeah, they did. Yeah. They got pretty hammered in that game, and the scoreline didn't sum it up. South led in a few, just got a bit late in the last 10. But I just want to see them in a bit more of a grinding challenge.
Yeah,
Parramatta probably was a challenge,
but not
and they still had a few errors in the Manly
challenge. Yeah,
and I'm still worried about their forward pack. I don't rate their forwards that
Manly's.
well. Yeah, but and if Trbojevic gets injured, which we're not ruling out yet, and they could still be a few
I've got written down here he's not at 100% yet, and he killed it on the weekend.
He did.
He killed it, and he's not at 100%.
No.
And so you can look at it as a positive and go, he's killing it, and he's not at 100%. He's only going to get better. But you can also look at it and go, well, he's not at 100%. Is something wrong?
Yeah.
Is there a chance he gets re-injured? So that's interesting to watch. I think just turbo.
Yeah.
I also thought Schuster played really well.
In the first half, he did.
I wasn't high on him at 5'8". If they picked Johns at 5'8", I said I wouldn't have been surprised. But Schuster killed it.
Glad they did pick him because he was great.
Yeah.
Fantasy-wise, I thought he would have gone a little bit better. But
I don't have him in my fantasy.
Yeah, no, but I looked at his score. He only had about 36 or something.
Oh.
Maybe I think it might have been 46.
He definitely played better.
Pretty low, yeah.
Yeah, I guess fantasy doesn't reflect on everything. But anything else from that game?
Not really. We kind of just summed it up. Yeah. Para were good. Manly were good. Manly probably deserved the win over Para. But
and I think the scoreline reflected the game as well. There was 4 points in it, high scoring.
Yeah.
I think both teams can work on defence a bit, but their attack is looking good.
Yeah, and Para have a few troops coming back now.
Yeah.
Ryan Madison's back in. True. Sean Lane's still out.
Yeah, but Madison does come back in. I think another thing I was impressed with Eels There was do you remember against the Sharks, Wonga Blake had that moment where all he had to do was pass to Sivo, and he didn't pass, and then he dropped it and the game was over. Against Manly, it was basically the same scenario. They're behind, they had to score, and he passed it this time, like they scored. And so it was good to see him like learn from his mistakes. I think that's promising for Wonga Blake. All right, so Knights versus Dolphins. You said you didn't watch this game.
So you're gonna have to.
I'm gonna have to carry this conversation. So what I took out of the game is that the Knights were actually kind of impressive to start the game. They put up a fight, which I like. Considering the team they had named such an average team. Like they were missing Ponga, they were missing Brayley. Who'd they have at hooker again? I forget his. Like Phoenix Crossland. Like their team was so average, like on paper. And obviously the Dolphins were 2-0. Yeah. First away game, but like still they're 2-0. And I thought the Knights started the game quite well. And at some stages, it looked like Knights were going to win.
Yeah, I think I checked the score at one point. It was like 18-all.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And then, do you remember against the Roosters, the Dolphins sort of just hung in the game, and then just ran away with it. That's sort of what happened here again. And that seems to be what they're doing every week now. Maybe that's sort of the team that they're going to be like, where they just hang in games. Do.
Because when he was at South Bennett, they did that. They'd hang in the games and just... So it's just a Wayne Bennett thing. Yeah, because they just hung in, and then when their opportunities came, they iced them, and that's why they won the game. I thought that there's not that much to take out of it, to be honest. It went as everyone expected.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Knights, I thought they put up a fight.
Did you think
the
Dolphins were bad at all?
No, not really. I thought they probably was. They weren't as good as they were against the Roosters. I didn't see their game against the Raiders, so it's hard to judge against that. But they weren't bad. They weren't incredible. I think they would have liked to win the game by more than they did, to be honest. But just the only other talking point I can think out of it is Kafusi's hit on Hastings.
He should have got off for that.
And his suspension.
You can tell that he slowed down and tried to pull out of it and couldn't.
Or when watching it live, because I was on Fortnite with a mate, so I was watching the game and talking about it to him. Yeah. And the hit happened, and watching it live, I said, he's gonna go to the bin here. I thought it was really bad. And then he didn't get binned. It was just a penalty, I think, from memory. And then on the replay, live it looked bad. Yeah. But then when you watch it back, he does try and pull out of it. He did everything he could.
But he was just going
to pull out of it. But he was going, which he's been doing all year.
He should have got off for that because I don't know how Joseph Suaalii did.
Yeah.
That was a lot worse than this.
But I understand it was a big hit. It was forceful
special
contact.
Treatment, so...
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it was forceful contact, but that's because it's a game of rugby league. Yeah. He was trying to snap Jackson Hastings.
I've seen Andrew Johns rave on about it.
It's 1 week at most.
1 week, yeah. But have you seen the footage of Andrew Johns?
No, what did Joey say?
It's just it's the most dog act in the game, hitting a player in the back when they're not looking.
Bro, he's making a tackle.
Yeah, then Slater's trying to defend him, so he's trying to pull out, and Johns just isn't listening.
So if Hastings is holding the ball though, it's a completely legal tackle.
It's different. It's legal,
and it's not like it wasn't that late. It wasn't that late, and he tried to pull out of it.
Mate, you saw in the Roosters Rabbitohs game, Cody Walker goes up and takes Walker.
Mate, I cannot wait to talk. And what was it? A penalty?
I think it was.
There was a penalty, but that's it. That was a million times worse.
Walker loses his temper as usual.
I can't wait to get to that. I've got that written down. I've literally got written down. Cody Walker is a grub.
Cody anger issues Walker.
But yeah, I think the hit, it was late. There's no denying that, but it wasn't as late as being made out to be. And he made an effort to pull out. Which what more do you want him to do? Unless you want him to literally disappear, which is a cliche in these things, but he can't disappear, and he tried his best to pull out.
It's beyond me that he's gotten this.
The only other choice, if you're Kafusi, is to not hit blokes hard.
Yeah, I know.
Is that what you want? You want him to not hit blokes hard?
Yeah, I know. You want him to hit. So dumb. We've seen them all year so far.
The NRL will happily use those tackles to promote their game.
Yeah.
But then once it's a little bit late, or he loses control of it, when the player passes the ball. And this is split-second stuff. If you're flying in for a tackle and then he passes the ball, there's nothing you can do about that. What do you want him to do? I just don't get it. It's so dumb.
Didn't Latrell Mitchell get 5 weeks for the hit on Manu?
Yeah.
He gets 4 weeks for that.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to defend Kafusi in saying that it was perfectly legal, because at the end of the day, it was late, but it's not 4 weeks. Like that is not 4 weeks.
I don't even think a sin bin would have been. Like, I think penalty.
Well, like, that's what I was saying. Like, live, normal speed live, I was thinking sin bin, and then the replay happened, and instantly I was like, oh, it's not that bad. And yeah, I think penalty sufficient, maybe on report, which is like what happened, and then a week max if he has points.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it was silly. And yeah, I just feel sorry for him, eh?
He's going to be a big loss for him.
Massive loss, because he's been almost the heart and soul of the Dolphins. Obviously, I assume you don't have anything to add about that game.
Yeah, I
didn't see
watch it. I watched a bit of the highlights, but I don't have too much to say.
It was just
apart from the hit. It
was a Friday 6 p.m. game.
Yeah, it's just,
and it held up to that. It wasn't like a bad game, but it wasn't an amazing game. Roosters, Rabbitohs. Do you want to kick us off? You were at the game. Yeah, you support the Souths.
It's incredible atmosphere it was there. And Souths got up to a 10-0 lead pretty early on. I'm like, oh, this could be a big win. Souths.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, Rio Hargraves comes on. He gets the fingers. He gets food. Then Brandon Smith comes on, same thing. Then Brandon Smith scores a
Did he come off the bench?
Yeah, he did.
Oh.
And everyone was like, when they were going through the team lineups, he wasn't named. Everyone's like, oh, he's pulled out. But then they get to the bench and he's...
Yeah, okay.
They didn't even read the Souths.
I didn't notice that.
At the ground, they didn't even read the Souths lineup. Like,
didn't at all.
How they, with the away teams, they normally just
they just like skim over it.
No, they don't like skip. They just don't. They're not like.
They put it up.
Yeah, they put it up. They didn't do that here.
Yeah, okay.
And when South came out on the field, there was no hype around it. They just guy on the microphone said nothing. They just came out and were like, they're here. They're on the field.
Yeah, you like at the Bulldogs game. They're like when Tigers ran out. They're like, oh, tell the Tigers what you think or something like that. Usually they address the away team at least.
Address anything. We just looked over and they were on the field.
You didn't even see him run out.
And when the Roosters come out, there's fireworks and all the rest. And we're like, whatever.
I guess they have the right to that. It is their stadium.
Smith comes on and the game changes from there. Smith was incredible.
Yeah, he finally had a good game for the Roosters.
And Rio Hargraves and Bradley held their cool, which is pretty much what got them the win. But instead, Cody Walker lost his cool, which happens so often, and blew the game.
As a Souths fan, how do you feel about Cody Walker losing his temper all the time?
I don't understand how he still does it. Like, he should have been spoken to many times. Like, Latrell's learnt to control it. Yeah. But I don't know how Walker just can't
That's something I thought when it happened, because Latrell and Cody Walker are infamous for being grubs and, doing that sort of thing. Brain snaps.
Pretty good now.
And that's what I thought to myself. They're like, Latrell's so much younger, but he's actually learned to control it. Like, credit to him. Yeah. He really has matured a lot and controls it a lot more. I think especially since the Manu face incident.
Yeah.
But Cody Walker's almost getting worse.
Oh, yeah.
Like, can somebody explain to me what is going through his head to chase Sam Walker 10 metres across the field without the ball and then just push him over?
Just frustration, I think. But you saw when Manu did that hit on Isaiah Tass.
Yeah.
Cody Walker runs from the other end of the field to get in there. Like, why do you need to do that?
He's just silly.
Manu gets punched in the face. And
at
the stand,
did he get punched?
Yeah, he did. I don't think it was a deliberate.
I watched the replay so many times and I never saw a punch.
It was a swinging fist from his cheek-hand, which I don't think it was meant to punch him, but it did. Yeah. And everyone there thought he broke his cheekbone again.
Well, it blew up again.
Yeah, it was crazy. Going crazy. And cheek-hand, he can't catch a ball, but he can throw a punch. So it's interesting to me. Thank God he's gone this week. But,
so you got suspended?
Who? Cheek-hand?
Yeah, did he get dropped?
He might have. I think Manu did. Manu's getting suspended, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he might have been on the bench. Cheekham might have been named, which is surprising to me. But
well, I think Souths are low on forwards, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, missing.
I've got down that the Roosters are improving each week slowly. From obviously they lost to the Dolphins and then they beat the Warriors by 8.
There's still a lot of faults there, I think. They still got a lot to work on.
Yeah, definitely. They're not.
I think their
perfect.
attack still has a bit to do.
I think they've worked out how to use cheese. From the sounds of it, if they can do that consistently, obviously it's one game, it's hard to judge if that is the right thing to do. Yeah. But it did work in that game. And I've got down that I'm not too worried about South. I still think they're a premiership contender.
It's not like the Eels. I wasn't stressed about losing that game on the weekend. If we lose this one, I might get a little bit stressed. But
against Manly,
because then we got the Storm the week after. If we lose 4 in a row, I might start getting a bit worried. But I'm okay with where we are. I think,
what are you 1 and 2? You've won one game.
1 and 2, yeah. And we've still got positive for and against, so it's not a big issue for me at the moment.
And you lost to Panthers was the other game.
Yeah,
so that's not like you're losing. They're potentially top 4 teams you're losing.
The Latrell Mitchell field goal right at the end, or attempted field goal. Where we were sitting, it was on the other end of the stand. We all thought he got it.
Really? Because it fell short, didn't it?
It did, but we all thought he got it.
He hit it nice.
On the screen, it kind of showed it, like, he threw his mouth gun. It looked like he was sort of celebrating.
Oh,
okay. I literally screamed.
Yeah.
Lost my voice.
Because you thought he got it.
I thought he got it, but then I was, like, standing there. I'm like, wait, did he or did he not?
Yeah.
And, like, the Roosters fans cheer. Like,
yeah.
Oh, well, okay.
That's the beauty of watching a game live, eh? You don't always know what's happening.
Oh, imagine if he got
I thought that was hectic.
Imagine if he got that.
Like, I hate Latrell. Like, I'm not going to hide from the fact I don't like Latrell Mitchell, but he hit that so sweet.
Oh, it just
like,
wasn't
considering the circumstances, he's bounced out of dummy half.
Straight there.
Like, near the sideline, like 45 metres out. Just hits it, and he nearly got it.
Yeah, I know. It just wasn't the right length.
He had he had the angle perfect, which is, like, almost the hardest thing to
I just can't imagine. Imagine if he got that.
Like, he was almost slipping out of dummy half as he kicked it. Yeah. And, like, I was impressed. Obviously, he missed it.
When he was going to dummy half, I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, just get someone else to go dummy half. Because I reckon if he didn't go dummy half, he would have got that.
Yeah. Well, I think the reason he missed the length was he probably rushed it a bit.
Yeah.
Because he had to. Like, there's kick pressure there, you're in dummy half and whatever. And so, but, like, to get the angle.
Imagine if that went to golden point and he kicked the winning field goal.
Imagine
that would have been
even if they lose in golden point, just to kick that. Yeah. Like, if that goes over, that's one of the greatest moments of regular season ever.
Yeah, but I think they would have had to have won as well for it to be, like, more known. Yeah. As an iconic moment.
Yeah. Like, if you're going to lose now, it's not as good.
Like, South and Roosters have so many iconic moments. Yeah. So it was obviously, like, 2012 when Reynolds scored that. They came back 12 points down. I still can't believe they won that game. What else is there? There's the Farlongo punch on There's the Trell.
Yeah. There's the flogging that we talked about last week. Yeah, where AJ got 5, yeah. There's some good moments. And, like, that was another good game.
Yeah. Like, the sin bin thing coming to the end.
What did we say? We said, did you say 2 and a send-off?
Yeah.
And there was just 2 sin bins.
2 sin bins, yeah, 1 from each.
And I think I said 3 and a send-off. Yeah, they did come late. I thought, both teams did well to hold their calls. Obviously, there was a lot of build-up. There's always a lot of build-up for South Roosters, but specifically with Sin Bin Sunday.
Yeah.
I think that was built up a lot.
Overhyping it a bit for it to happen again.
Yeah. I think there's always going to be something in that game, though. Yeah. Some sort of drama, whether it's good or bad. Anything else from that game?
No, we can skip over it. Until round 27, I don't really want to.
They don't play again until round 27?
Yeah.
Far out. Yeah. They always play at the end of the year, hey? Like, close to the end. Yeah. Titans Storm. We've said already, you just plucked this one out of the air. Got it right. I still can't believe it. Like, I was shocked when you said you thought Titans would win. But they won.
And they won. It wasn't convincing. Their defence still has a lot of issues, which has been their problem for years, their defence. They've always been a solid attacking team, but their defence has always been pretty rubbish. But the Storm, on the other hand, is a bit of a concern.
I've got down. I think it's time to worry about it.
34 points, you should be winning games.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So, Titans went exactly how I expected. Like, I expected it to be close in a high-scoring game.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what the Titans did. Campiera finally had a great game.
He played really well.
5 points on fantasy. He played really well. Brimson played well. I thought Kieran Foran was great. Tanner Boyd had a much better game than he did against the Dragons.
Boyd bounced back.
Aaron Shop, great game.
Shop had a real good game. You hate to see it.
But I thought the Titans were really good. Jonah Pezzett, he was really
He had a cracker game. Yeah. And he only got put in late as well.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, he would have known probably all week that he was playing, but, like, to be announced late, like, I found out, I think, when they were running out, I was like, oh, Pezzett's playing.
Yeah.
And he scored that try. That try was really good.
Yeah, I know it was.
I was very impressed with Pezzett.
You'd think with Olam back and who else was back? They had a few come back.
Sims was playing. Coates came back.
He wasn't too good. Sims either. Yeah, Coates came back.
Yeah, they did have a few troops.
We got Munster back this week, which we'll talk about very soon.
Yeah,
but
we'll get to that.
They shouldn't have conceded 38 points, the Storm.
Yeah.
Like, if you score 34, you should be winning games.
And did you see the stat that the last time they scored that many points in a loss was against the Titans, and it was the last time the Titans beat them?
34.
Yeah.
But the Titans, I think they're going to do fine. Like, I don't think they're going to be anywhere near the spoon this year. Like, I still can back them.
You put them in top 8, didn't you?
I'm still going to back it for now, but I still think their defence has a few cracks in its windscreen.
I just love how close this competition is.
Yeah.
It is, like, I was looking at it again today, I'm like, who's going to get the spoon outside of the Tigers? Because at the moment, they're probably looking like
the Knights.
And I don't think the Tigers will get it. I think I'd tip them to be like top 12.
Yeah, I don't reckon Tigers.
And like you look at it, like
it's just so hard to pick who's going to get it.
Yeah, I said, it's either going to be the Knights or it's going to be a side that no one expects, like the Dogs or the Raiders, like one that everyone
like the Eels are down there at the moment.
Yeah,
the
like
Storm are bottom 8
going to be like, whoa, how'd they get this one?
Yeah, I love it how close it is. I agree with everything you said about that game. I think you summed it up really, really well. The Storm, like, you shouldn't be conceding that many points. The Titans played well, but there's still stuff to improve on. I feel for Bellamy. He seems like he's just done, eh?
Yeah,
has he announced that he's retiring?
I don't think so. I think it's...
If he hasn't announced it, like, he's retiring.
You even saw it at the back end of last year. He just looks pretty tired and just done, ready to finish up. And that's what he's looked like so far this season as well.
And, like, obviously they are missing Munster and Pappenhausen, but, like... And, like, when they beat the Eels, they looked all right.
Yeah, they weren't bad at all.
So it's just weird.
But that's when Munster was playing.
They seem to be missing the Storm DNA.
Yeah.
And they lost all those forwards, and I think they didn't realise how much that was actually going to affect them.
I know.
And even like over the past couple, like they've lost Cheese, they've lost Finucane,
the Bromwich
brothers, Kafusi.
A lot of loss of Cameron Smith from
obviously they lost Smith at the end of 2020.
You look at their 2020
that's all
grand final team. It's pretty different now.
Nico they lost.
Yeah, Nico's gone. Harry Grant wasn't there, but he's in there now.
Yeah.
Who else was in that 2020?
I feel like there's some backs
Vunivalu.
Yeah, Vunivalu, Addo-Carr.
Addo-Carr.
Like they have lost some troops over the past 2-3 years, and I think it's starting to catch up to them.
Yeah.
And like everyone's always says, the Storm system, like they'll come through. It's always next man up, and it has always been like that. And they've always done good. And the players they have now, they're not bad, but they're just not at that level, are they?
Yeah. Like you never know. In a few years, they could develop up.
Yeah, I think in a few years they will
be
at that level, but they're just not at that level yet. I think they're going through the younger players faster than they normally would. Like normally they wouldn't come in for another couple of years, but they've sort of been rushed through.
But yeah, I don't think there's much more to add on that game. I just think they're still on. Yeah, a bit 50-50 on them at the moment.
Yeah, it's interesting. Cowboys, Warriors.
This was... I watched this game, but didn't pay too much attention to it. Like, I'd look up here and there, but Warriors were good, I thought. Like I said the last few weeks, they haven't looked bad. Like, I think they just need a bit more creativity.
Yeah.
When they're close to the line. And Johnson, I thought, had a great game.
Like, he
was running the ball more, and I think that's the main reason they won this.
And that's his game. Like, that's what he has to be doing. He has to run the ball.
And that's what pretty much won the game for them here. And the Cowboys, on the other hand, were just... Like, you could tell they missed Drinkwater. Like, Chester was good, but I think he doesn't have, like, the IQ yet that Drinkwater has.
And that's what we said when we were doing our prediction. That was my concern. I think you sort of echoed it as well, that without Drinkwater, there were definitely concerns.
And that's why I was a bit more confident in the Warriors as well.
Yeah, and like we both said Cowboys 1-12, and that was basically saying if Drinkwater plays, we're probably on them 13 plus.
And with the Cowboys, like I said in the preseason, I'm a bit worried that they're going to have a bit of a drop this year. And like I said, it's only because last year, everyone expected them to get the spoon.
Yeah.
And they come out and make top 4. Then we go into this preseason, teams look at them as more of a threat now.
Yeah,
there's
the expectation.
Have the whole preseason to prepare for them, and that's what I think is catching up to them. I don't think they're a side that can overcome teams
that
being a bit more onto them because they weren't they weren't beating top full strength sides last year.
Yeah.
They pumped the Storm when they had a lot out. They pumped the Panthers reserve grade team.
Yeah.
I'm just worried for them. I still think they can make the 8, but don't think they're going to be as dominant as what they were last season.
I definitely think I agree. I think they can make the 8, but they're also a chance of missing the 8.
Yeah,
I think
if they miss it,
just because of the teams that are improving and how close
every
it's going to be.
season, there's a team that drops out that no one would expect him, and I think that could be the Cowboys.
Would they come third? Yeah, it's weird. It's interesting.
I love the Cowboys. I always have, but there's a few reasons why I don't like him. There's bloody Chris Thomas online. I hope they miss it. Well, he's a Dolphins supporter now, actually.
Shit, I got in a big argument with him yesterday. I don't remember what post
apparently
it was
he's a
on.
Dolphins supporter now.
When did you hear that?
Oh, he's always raving on about the Dolphins now. He doesn't mention the Cowboys.
Yeah, I got in a...
Because I swear he was a Titans supporter a few years ago.
I only got caught onto him last year. Actually, I was going through your TikTok
I got caught on.
I was going through your TikTok last week, I think it was. And I found you made a TikTok about him quite a while ago. When you open the Instagram comments and Chris Thomas comes up.
He's such a meme now. You see people make...
Everyone knows who he is. And everyone just trolls him
back then
back.
no one was People knew who he was, but he wasn't like a meme like he was now. But I honestly used to think he was a real person. But
you don't reckon he's real?
God forbid he's a real person. No,
I can't work it out. I'm not. I've been trying to look at, is he real?
Oh, no, he's told me that he runs a gym on his own. It's like a multi-million
So you've like been in his DMs?
No, I haven't. Like in the comments.
Oh, in the comments.
Because people have said hit the gym. And he's like, I own a multi-million-dollar gym.
Yeah, that's
not a real person.
You don't. I reckon he could be real though.
Surely
you don't
not.
like.
Surely not.
It's weird. He changes his profile picture though, and it's the same dude.
It can't be real.
I think I'm gonna honestly let's give a take on it. I think it's a real person, and they just lie a lot. Obviously, like they're sort of building a sort of fake persona, but like the person behind it is Chris Thomas.
Imagine people that know him in real life.
That see the comments.
I think it's a fake account because the name as well just sounds just a fake.
The
username
as well is just like it's like simple. It's like his Google like Instagram name generator.
I know, but it's like it's just a simple name, Chris Thomas. Like it could be a real name, but I just think it has to be a fake account. Some random guy just doing it just to be a troll.
I respect it if it is just a troll because he does a bloody good job. I don't remember what the argument I got with him was over.
Triggered by him anymore.
Like, I don't get triggered. I reply to him all the time though. Like I try and troll him back. So I was
troll.
You
keep
poor
embarrassing yourself.
You love being wrong. What's the other catchphrase he said to me yesterday? Oh, it's like, be careful, your extreme jealousy is showing. Yeah, I don't remember what I said to him. I don't remember what we were arguing over. But he said something like, "Oh, you." Poor Pretender 2.0 or something. Pretenders 2.0, like referring to Penrith.
I saw when they posted the ladder, like for this week, he's like the Premier's sitting pretty in 15th or something.
He's so biased. I love it. Like it's got to be a troll account, but at the same time, I'm like, is it a real dude? Because sometimes I read what he says. That's probably what I sound like sometimes. Like just the extreme bias. Like, I do it as a joke, but like...
Because after the grand final as well, he commented on the post of the Panthers with the trophies, like, the 2024 Premier is going to look good holding this. And I'm like, we heard this all year.
He's so... I love it, eh?
Yeah,
and like, you always get a response out of it. It's like the same 4 responses. I got him good, though. What did I say to him? I was like... I don't remember. It was something like, oh, you're in your mum's basement, and then something else that was pretty funny, and he never replied to it. Like, I actually won a fight with him, but I don't remember what I said to him.
Can't win fights with him.
Because he just always replies. And he always says the same 4 things. I love it. I love it so much. I can't wait for the Bulldogs to play the Cowboys because I want the Bulldogs to win. And then I'm going straight to the NRL post and I'm going, where is at Chris Thomas?
Yeah, everyone does.
And that's going to blow up.
Whenever they lose, that always is like the first comment you see. Yeah. What happened, Chris Thomas?
I love it. I don't even remember where we were.
I remember the prelim final last year when they lost. Yeah. That was the only thing in the comment.
Just at Chris. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Everyone was adding him. Yeah. He's an enigma. He's not
a like Chris Thomas Jr. And it's like a photo with a baby filter.
Yeah, I do. I think he's got to be memed more. I think everyone should make like fake accounts.
I've seen a TikTok. I might show it to you after this, but there's like a TikTok about him. And it's really funny. Like it's like an edited from a movie of it. I'll show you it afterwards.
Imagine if like everyone made like a burner account, called it Chris Thomas, and like got in the comments and just there was I
think that's been happening.
I reckon that should happen. If you're watching this and you got spare time, make an account Chris Thomas and then just troll in the comments. But you got to troll Chris Thomas.
I've seen him pop up on TikTok a few times as well.
Like he gets onto TikTok like actively. Yeah, that could be the end of the world. Videos. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Next charity match, Chris Thomas.
Oh, surely get Chris Thomas in the charity match. Sportshed TV. I know you're watching this. We want Chris Thomas in the charity match, 2023 or 2024. We have to.
As long as he's not on my team, I'd be happy for it.
Everyone versus Chris.
I don't care if he's not a content creator. He's got to play in
it. I count him as a content creator.
See how good he
more people would know about him than they know about like me and you. I reckon. He's pretty well known. I don't remember where we were. We were talking about Warriors Cowboys.
But I think we just addressed the entire game.
Yeah, there's nothing else to touch on. If there was, shout out to Chris Thomas. Sorry, Cowboys and Warriors fans, if you wanted more of a breakdown of the game and not Chris Thomas, but this is now a Chris Thomas fan podcast. Oh, it's too good. Broncos, Dragons.
Yeah.
This was a good
Very
game.
interesting game. This like Dragons were on top. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
I really thought they were going to win, the Dragons.
I thought that at one point as well, but then all of a sudden the Dragons just do what they do so often and choked the game away, and the Broncos just flew past them. Payne Haas, it's the best prop in the game. No one's telling me different.
You can't argue with it.
He comes on in that last 10 minutes, and that was a different game.
Yeah.
Then Reece Walsh is so exciting to watch.
Isn't he looking good? He's home. You can just tell he belongs in.
I reckon he can make the Maroon squad.
Yeah.
I honestly reckon if Ponga's out, he's the next choice. People are saying Brimson, but you see, I think Brimson's the third one in line. I love AJ Brimson, but you see, he wasn't in camp last year.
I think Hammer's at the front of the line.
You reckon Hammer? I reckon
like right now, I think Hammer's at the front of the line, but I think come Origin, Walsh will jump to the front of the line.
You see, I love Brimson, but he hasn't been in camp, so I doubt that Slater's going to choose him over the Hammer and Walsh. I think Hammer has been in camp, that's why he'd be.
And I think Slater probably wouldn't mind a project, like a fullback project, like somebody to teach. And I think Walsh and Hammer can be shaped more.
Yeah.
And that's no offense to Brimmer. Like, he's killing it. He's a good player.
Brimson's awesome to watch in real life, but I just don't know. I just have a feeling like the Maroons aren't. He's not their first priority, which is crazy. Like, I couldn't believe he wasn't in the squad last year.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's
good.
Awesome to watch.
I thought, the Dragons, they started very fast and and they were on top. But then I think it's a credit to where the Broncos are as a team for hanging in the game and then coming home strong. Because it's easy to fall out of games like that.
Yeah.
It is easy to fall out of games, but it was just a crazy ending. They just scored try after try after try.
I'm like, that doesn't sound much.
Like, it was 18 all. And what did it end up?
40 to 18.
40 to 18. It was 18 all with like 15 left. It was just an insane ending. I think Reynolds, he's in career best form.
Adam Reynolds, I think ever since leaving South, he's just looked even better than what he was.
Yeah, and obviously...
It's just the way when he gets the ball. Like, he's just so...
He's so calm with it. He just gets it right,
so calm. Like, his kicks are just awesome.
Yeah, they're just
especially
perfect.
Short kicks, they're literally perfect.
He's literally career best form, I think.
Like, you've seen that first week in the Panthers game. He literally got the ball... And, like, then he turns and kicks it in the touch. Like, in a perfect... Like, it was just a clever kick that no one else would have been able to do.
Yeah.
And it's just a
his execution.
Clever little kick that just...
He always knows the exact kick that is needed.
And the ball just
bounces
so perfectly when he kicks it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just incredible.
It's weird how perfect
his kicking game is. It makes me even more jealous that South got rid of him.
Yeah, I bet. It must kill you as a South fan.
Like, he's literally such an underrated player.
Yeah.
Such an underrated player.
Yeah, no, he's... Not just him, like, just the Broncos as well. They're looking real good.
They are, but remember they did this last year. I would want to wait until the...
That's the thing, that like they sort of fell apart because of drama behind the scenes. If there's no drama
I don't think it'll happen.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't know if that can happen
definitely, because I saw people predicting them outside the 8 this season, which I thought was ridiculous.
I called them outside of the 8 because I thought the drama from last year was going to carry on into this year with like what happened with Cobbo and stuff, but it hasn't at all.
It hasn't. But you see, I predicted them to come 6, and I said I can see him finishing higher.
Yeah.
They were a top 4 side last year until the last month. But, yeah, it's very exciting times for the Broncos.
I think Kevin Walters must be loving it, eh? Yeah. After what Cobbo said about
I never used to like the Broncos. I used to not be able to stand them. And now I actually have a real soft spot for them. I don't know what it is. I think it's probably, they're entertained, but I think it's probably because Reynolds is there.
Reynolds, yeah, true. Well, like, I'm the same, but I don't have the connection to Reynolds. Like, they're the Broncos. You sort of always hate the Broncos.
Very entertaining to watch.
They're very good to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Reece Walsh, like, he's just such an X factor. Like, he's playing
I never realised how good he was when he was at the Warriors because I never really used to pay attention to their games.
Well, he used to show glimpses of how he's playing now, but there's no consistency.
Now I've seen him like at the Broncos, which they're always in the prime time game. I've been able to watch it a little bit more. He is incredible. Like, because the Warriors are always just the bludger.
You never see their games. Yeah,
so it's good that he's going to be getting a lot more credit now that he's at a better club.
Yeah, and he's in the spotlight more, and I think he likes being in the spotlight, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like if he's, and it seems like he's rising to the occasion. Like, he's in Brisbane, there's eyes on him. He's on the back page of the papers and stuff, and he's loving it. Like, you saw that try celebration he did after that try, where you like was all swag and stuff. I thought it was pretty funny, and then Mam did it as well, didn't he? Yeah, they're looking good. What do you make of the Dragons, though, on the other side of the coin?
Again, I've predicted them to get the spoon, but I don't think they will.
Yeah, they're looking too good to get the
spoon. And they just, they're going to get some bludger wins, like they did against Gold Coast last week. Like, just some wins that they in a pretty average game. But I don't think they're good enough to beat any other top side.
You don't reckon? So not top 8?
Nah, no top 8.
I can't see them making the top 8, but like they're playing good though.
I don't think they're good, but they're not like terrible. Like, they still have a lot of errors in them.
Yeah.
A lot of errors in them.
On paper, they're still quite... I thought Sloane's doing quite well.
Yeah, Sloane
He looked good in the first half.
Sloane is playing really good. So Sullivan.
Yeah, Sullivan looked good,
he's looking really good.
It's so good to see someone, or both of them really, playing good footy, because like last year, it was nightmares for them.
Yeah, I know. They were dreadful.
Like they were playing average footy and they weren't really being given a real crack, and they both requested to leave at one stage. And so, yeah, it's just good to see them play. And, like, especially even after the trial, like, Sloane cried in that trial game because he was under so much pressure. So, yeah, it's just good to see them playing good footy, I think.
Yeah, which I'm happy for them.
Yeah, that's what, like, I'm just happy.
I don't have a problem with the Dragons, but, like, I know a lot of people think I do, but they're just a mess of a club.
Well,
it
like,
really annoys me because there's so much, like, potential in them, but they just make the most stupid decisions sometimes. They're bored, especially.
What's going on with them? We'll get into it now. What's going on with them telling Anthony Griffin to like reapply for it?
Just,
like either sack him
or
sign him.
Why would you
just
say
pick
that?
one.
Like why would you say that to him?
It's like when you want to break up with someone. It's like, oh, let's just be friends.
Like, I don't ever agree with Paul Kent, but he said it perfectly last night. Why doesn't Griffin go up to the Dragons and say, what will you give me?
Yeah.
Like, why are they telling him?
Yeah.
He needs to reapply. Like, the Dragons should be telling Griffin like what they're gonna give.
Yeah.
Like, because like it's just ridiculously issues at the club. Like, why is Griffin getting the blame? He's been there for 2 years.
Yeah.
They haven't like been dreadful in any of those seasons. Like, they finished 10th last year, which you know
and he's playing with
they weren't in the fight for the 8 last year, but they weren't like going to get the spoon.
They came close to the 8.
Yeah, then the year before, we know what happened. They were in the 8, then the whole barbecue situation, that's a bit different.
And that's out of the coach's control.
And again, now I think this year they're not going to be at the spoon. Like, I think they'll be in that 11th to 12th sort of range.
Yeah. And, like, to his credit, like, it's not like this is his roster either. He's had no money to spend to build a roster.
Because the Dragons
and he's still managed to retain Ben Hunt. And I'm pretty sure, like, he downgraded his contract.
Ben Hunt loves him, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
I think that is what's holding him back from sacking him.
Yeah.
Because Ben Hunt does really.
It seems like if you're telling a coach to reapply, though, that sort of seems like to me, it's like soft blow sacking him.
Yeah, they're not like saying we're sacking you. They're just like, just.
It's like trying to get rid of him without hurting his feelings.
Yeah.
Like, oh, let's just be friends.
But they are getting rid of him, and I know it, like, from connections.
Well, I think, because you mentioned that last week, and then when I saw that, I'm like there's no way he can reapply all he wants. He's not getting that job. Yeah. If they wanted him for the job, they'd just re-sign him.
Yeah.
Like, it is a bit of a mess. I'm impressed with how they're playing, considering the mess of the club they are. They haven't been too bad. Their performances have been good, considering.
They go like this every year.
Yeah.
It's just going to be another typical Dragons year for them, I think.
Yeah, just like missing the 8 but not getting the spoon is what it looks like at the moment. And like I predicted them for the spoon as well.
Yeah, so did I.
Just at the moment it doesn't look like they're going to get it.
5 times.
Yeah, they never get it.
Yeah.
Bulldogs, Tigers.
It
was an interesting game because the Bulldogs came out flying 20-6 at halftime, 26-6 with 20 left. Yeah, go.
I left to go to the servo.
Yeah, again.
And I come back and it's like...
Zane, you got to stop doing that. Every Bulldogs game. That's 2 weeks in a row now you're leaving something happens.
And I'm just like...
So you left when it was 26-6 and then you came back at 26-22.
Yeah. I'm like, the hell?
Mate, Belmore, obviously, I assume you've never been there because
I haven't played there. But I know you're a Doggies fan, but I would have loved if they lost that game from there. Well, I would have felt bad for you.
Yeah, the way the crowd is, like, it's just pumping, like, it's a party, basically. Yeah. It's like an 80-minute party, right? Like, there's not just, like, one set of drums. Like, there's drums everywhere. And because it was multicultural around as well, there was more drums than there normally is. Like, it was hectic. It was literally just like a festival or a party.
Yeah.
And, like, and because we were winning, like, 26-6 up until that moment,
then the drums
it was just going off. And then they scored the first try. And when I said there was 8 Tigers fans there, that is not an exaggeration. There was, like, literally 8 Tigers fans. So, you have the borough.
Yeah.
So you have the borough and they go to all the away games and stuff, and they all sit together, and there's a big group of them.
Yeah.
The Tigers, whatever they're called,
They did have
their
one.
jungle. Yeah, they had one. There was 8 people in it.
Yeah.
Like there was their big group of Tigers fans was like 8 people.
Yeah, they just didn't want to go to Belmore, I don't think.
And I assume they probably couldn't get tickets, to be fair. Like it sold out 4 days early. But yeah, and so you could hear them carrying on. For the first time in the game, you could hear them chanting like Tigers, Tigers. Yeah. And the crowd, it didn't go silent after the first try, but you know, the crowd went out of it a little bit. And then I think Staines scored the second try and the crowd just went silent. Yeah. Like you could not hear a single Bulldogs fan. You could hear the Tigers fans carrying on. It was like, I've never seen Belmore like it. Like, and we haven't won there since 2017. Like we lost to the Dragons there last year. And it's still like, there's a bit of noise. It was silent. Like, it was scary, and we all were like, because there's this rumor of a curse of Belmore, because we never win there, and everyone's just sitting there thinking like, oh my God, it's happening again. Because actually, this is a funny story. They lost that game. In 2018, we were beating the Raiders 28-14 with 5 minutes left.
And Raiders won.
We lost 30-28, like Raiders. And so that's what I'm like, oh, it's happening again. Like, this is horrible. And then they scored again with 10 minutes left. And it's like, at this rate, we're going to concede 50 points.
It was like Rice taking the conversion.
Because they literally scored in back-to-back sets. And I was like, oh, like, we're not just going to lose. We're about to get flogged. Like, it felt like Tigers were about to score like 50 tries.
They were dreadful, though.
Tigers.
They are pathetic.
Up until that moment, their attack, but yeah, obviously, to conclude that story, the Bulldogs went on and won the game. Their attack is so bad.
I know.
Like, it's laughable how bad their attack was.
They can't offload. Like, the forwards turn their back, and then they throw some stupid offload, which doesn't even go to a player.
Happy would jump out of dummy half and then go to pass, and nobody would be there.
Yeah.
Like, it is insane how bad their attack was. Like, Luke Brooks looked dreadful. Dewey was like, he was all right.
Yeah,
but
Dewey, but their backline as well is hopeless. And not for Luma. Good he's been dropped this week.
Naden had a good game, though, to be fair. I thought Naden played well.
He got 8 last week. Yeah. 60. The top scorer of the game.
Really?
Couldn't believe it.
Yeah, he played really well, which hurt because he's an ex-Bulldog, technically.
Oh,
I don't know if you can count that,
He was there for like
ex-Bulldogs legend. I'll never forget the week where he played on the Sunday and then was named to play for the Tigers against the Bulldogs on the Tuesday. Yeah. And that's how Bulldog fans found out he left.
Yeah.
On Teamless Tuesday. He was named for the other team. We all thought it was a glitch in the app. And then the Bulldogs like, oh yeah, he was released, by the way. I was like, what? But yeah, I thought the first half, just the first half, I thought we genuinely looked like a top 8 team. Not top 4 or anything, but like a team that's inside the top 8. That was the first half.
But like, yeah, I was still not convinced of the Dogs, just like with Manly. Like, I want to see them get challenged. Like, I want to see how they go against Penrith.
Like, I'm not saying we are a top 8 team.
Yeah.
But I think just the way we were playing in the first half, and like I'm emphasising like the first half. If you take the last 20 minutes...
They were good in the first half.
If you take
a lot of their tries came from weak Tigers defence, though.
Yeah. That's the thing. We scored a try where Alamoti took an intercept, gave it to Fox. That's what I mean. And then there's one... It was one of my favourite tries of the year. The one where, where they just... Yeah, he hit a hole back inside Ottomani and then just smoked Dewey. And then Alamoti caught the bomb and just caught it. And then there was just no Tigers defenders. Yeah, and then gave it... And they passed it back and forth. So yeah, it's not like... We were scoring off like really good attacking shape on the line or anything.
Weak defence, they were scoring off. So that's what worries me. Like, I still think they've
once again, like, you can only play what's in front of you, but then you still eventually are going to have to play.
Like, again, I think they've got some cracks in their windscreen that needs to be repaired. So, like, until they verse like a top class side, I'm going to hold off the Bulldogs bandwagon.
Yeah.
Because I think, like, I know you're a Doggies fan, but I think they're a bit overrated at the moment.
And that's only because... I agree, though.
That's only because the Dogs are a very loud fan base.
Yeah.
Like, I know Carraz is leading the Dally M's, but he's not as good as what you guys talking about.
I think at the moment he's as good as he's great player. I think he's underrated as a, like, individually Carraz.
He's incredible.
He shouldn't be leading the Dally M.
I know, he shouldn't be.
Like, he's not a Dally M player of the year.
He's not going to win it either.
I think he's capable of winning Winger of the Year.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I didn't expect it to happen this year, but I thought, like, down the track, definitely.
Like, he's
got a lot of raw talent.
And a great player, but you Doggies fans talk him up to be like,
we'll talk up anyone, mate.
Yeah, I know. You're just, just because of how loud of a fan base the Dogs are. Like,
because that's just how passionate and how loud we are.
I know Dogs fans will come at me now for saying this, but they are.
I don't think, as it stands, it's hard to see us making the 8. I still think there's a world in which we slip into the 8, just because of how close it is. If you can pull off a couple of, like, if we this weekend against the Warriors, that's such an important 2 points.
This is an important game for them as well.
And so I think, they looked good. Are they a top 8 team yet? It's hard to say. I think they played top 8 footy in the first half. They haven't done it for an 80-minute period yet. Like they did against Storm, but not for 80 minutes. They let Storm back in the game. So I think there's a couple of issues there where they're letting teams back into the game. But in saying that, I'd much rather be in a position like up enough that you can let the other team back in the game and still win than like being on the other side of it, which like last year, we lose those games last year.
Well, where they come back in.
Yeah. Like they're not games we win last year. And like for them to go from 26-6 and then let in those 3 tries with 10 to go. And as I said, like it felt like the Tigers were going to run away with it. And they managed to like group together and say, no, like let's stop it now. And they just grinded themselves back to the game, which I thought was really good. I thought you mentioned Carraz, obviously he's leading the Dally Ams.
Which he should, and he's not going to win it. I know your Doggies fans are going to rave on all year when they shut the doors and he's still right there. Going about Carraz is getting it. He will not get the Dally M. A winger has never won.
That's what I was about to say. A winger's never won.
Never will.
It's just not possible.
Like he's he'll probably get winger of the year at this rate.
Well, I think the way he's going, he can definitely be like a winger.
He might be one day in a few years.
Yeah, not currently.
He's not an elite winger of the game.
Not currently. He definitely can be down the track.
I know you Doggies fans like to talk him up to be, but he's not.
Right now, he's not an elite winger.
Definitely not.
He can be down the track.
I do love Carraz. I love the yardage.
I think, and right now though, I think he's the informed winger of the club right now.
I was saying it as well. But he is.
Like, it's round 3.
Yeah.
And I don't know how he scored 5. Like, he had a good game. I didn't think he deserved 5 Dally M points, to be honest.
Yeah, I know.
That's just how the system is.
They gave it to him.
It's not. He didn't play bad, but I thought there were other players that played
5
better.
points, my God.
Yeah, like pretty weird. And he's like, not only is he leading the Dally M, he's literally like 2 points ahead of everyone else.
Winger,
and he scored all these points in the last 2 weeks. It's so weird. But yeah, shout out to him. I respect it. King Carraz. I thought Alamotti finally
played really
came into
well.
his skin and played
it's good
really
that
good.
he's next to Addo.
Yeah,
because I think that's helped him a lot because he actually passed the
and
ball
outside
like Aaron Schott.
Yeah, well, Aaron Schott would take that and then just try and go himself. But yeah, Alamotti's like, here you go, bro, you do the rest. That try they scored where they passed it back and forth, that was so good to watch.
Yeah.
That was so good.
Can't imagine that one at the stadium, how good that would be.
It was like everyone was sort of holding their breath, and then the last pass where Alamotti, they got him, and the crowd sort of was like, oh, and then he offloaded, it was like, oh, yeah! It was so good. It was like, when a team wins a grand final and the crowd just goes up, like when it hits 0, the clock, that's what it was like. Like the crowd just instinct just went, yeah! It was funny as. Such a good atmosphere at Belmore, I love it. But yeah, that's like, the Bulldogs, as we said, they looked good. They probably, in the first half, they looked like a top 8 team.
Absolutely, but they should have won.
They should have won by so
Tigers
much more.
Were hopeless.
And yeah, so the Bulldogs, they looked all right. We don't know where they're at as a team. You need more time to see. Are they a top 8 team? Are they a bottom 8 team? Because they've showed both this year. They've showed and not just like week to week. In games that have been top 8 teams, they've been a bottom 8 team in the same game. And the Tigers, they look bad.
Yeah.
We'll get into their changes for this week.
Again, a few changes.
But even like in the game, like they dropped Noffa in the game. They took a winger off and moved Dewey, who was probably like
a winger off the field.
Like Dewey's probably the person that your attack's going to go through. If you're going to find pointers through Dewey, and then they move into fullback, like with Ponga, like they moved him from fullback to 5'8", and we hate that move. Dewey 5'8" to fullback, like. That's the wrong move. Dewey needs to be in the front line. But we'll come to that when we...
player, and he should never be moved from there.
Yeah. And he said...
Tigers' best player.
He said last year that if he wasn't 5'8" in first grade, he wanted to play New South Wales Cup as 5'8".
Really?
Like, he wants to be 5'8". He doesn't want to be anything else. But we'll come back to that. The Raiders Sharks was the other game of the week. I didn't see that.
I watched this game, but didn't pay too much attention to it. Like, I thought Raiders were good.
Yeah,
they were good when they had the ball. And the Sharks, I think they're ready for Hines to come back. Like, shouldn't have been great for him, but I think Hines is what they've been missing.
He's coming back at the right time.
I think if Hines played in that game, they would have won.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
But yeah, Royce Hunt, did you see that?
No, I haven't seen like almost anything out of that game, to be honest.
So there was this moment where, like, Royce Hunt makes a tackle and they get up, play the ball, it moves on, and Royce Hunt like runs off his line, grabs this Raiders player, and I think there was a punch thrown. Yeah,
I heard about that.
They score through his hole, and then Royce Hunt gets sin-binned.
Yeah. So what did he get sin-binned for? He punched. So he threw the punch.
Yeah.
And then they scored through where he was
through his hole. Yeah. He runs off the line and runs towards the guy who played the ball.
Just to make a part to punch him.
Yeah,
I'll have to go back and watch it.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Was there like any big talking points or anything apart from that out of the game?
It wasn't like a massive talking point. Like it was a good game. Like it was entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
Like the few errors, but that's been a big factor. Like so far this year, it's been a lot of errors. Yeah. But the Raiders, like, they were good. Like they're looking exactly how I expected. Like I think they will get the.
Did they look top 8? No.
Don't go that far. Like I just think they're going to get the few upset wins every once in a while. But I just think they're going to lose games that they should.
Did
win.
Sharks play bad?
No, they weren't bad at all.
Yeah, okay.
Their defence still has a lot of issues, though. Like, I think some players have been lazy with making a tackle, and I think that's because Hines isn't there, leading them around in defence, as he usually does, which I think is a huge gain for him this week.
Yeah. Who did they play this week?
They play the Dragons.
Yeah, that's right. It's like the rivalry and stuff. And that's the sort of game you have
Raiders,
to win.
like, they were fine. Like, they definitely weren't bad, and they haven't been bad in any of their games this year.
I think it's good for them to finally get a W.
Yeah,
because like all 3 of the games, I didn't watch the Sharks Raiders game. I saw the end of it. I'm assuming it was like a gutsy win, like a grindy game.
It wasn't really, to be honest. Like the Raiders were up for most of pretty much most of the game. I don't remember the Sharks leading.
So they just sort of dominated it, but like not
they
overly.
Started the second half. They got 2 quick tries at the start of the second half, and I thought they'd run away with it. But Sharks just held in there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, like their first 2 games, like they lost by a field goal and then a penalty goal. Yeah. So like it's just good for them to finally get some points.
It was just a fine game of rugby league. Yeah. Like it wasn't
just
incredible. It wasn't crap. Yeah, it was just a good way to end the week.
Yeah. Nothing else to say about it?
Not really.
Panthers had the bye. Obviously, they did get the 2 points eventually. Do you want to do the 3 questions segment? Do you want to kick us off?
Want me to start? So we go back to my stadium question. Do you think Accor Stadium should only be used for big events such as Good Friday, semi-finals and State of Origin?
Yes.
Then the Doggies play their home games at Combank, and Souths play and the Souths play and Belmore, obviously.
Yeah, obviously,
Souths play their home games at Trilliant, sorry. Yeah. And do you think Accor should only be used for big events?
I think that's definitely how it should be. I think Accor, I don't know how to pronounce it. It should definitely only be used for grand final, Origin, obviously.
Good Friday.
Semi-finals.
Yeah.
Some like prelims, maybe week 2 as well, not week 1.
Good Friday.
And then Good Friday, and I think Queen's birthday against Bulldogs Eels, Queen's birthday.
Yeah, and then
maybe Roosters Rabbits. No, that's better at Allianz. So let's be real.
Yeah.
Is there any big games Rabbits have apart from Good Friday that you need to have?
There's the Anzac game.
But true.
That would you? Not really. You want to? They can move that to the SCG. They can move that too.
I guess they don't play at the SCG anymore, do they?
Yeah. Yeah, you just move that to Allianz.
Like, I don't think that there's any games that Allianz can't hold, hey?
Yeah.
How much does Allianz hold? 45, 50?
45,000.
Yeah. Like, obviously, you're probably selling it out.
36,000 there on Friday.
36?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
think for the Rabbits, I think... But even Good Friday, you could have it Allianz.
But Roosters fans hate to admit it, but Rabbitohs should be playing it.
Well, that was going to be my other point, though. So I think definitely only big games at Accor. But my problem is, I don't think the Bulldogs should play at a Combank.
Why? Because it's Parramatta.
Well, it's a Parramatta stadium. Like, it's next to the League Club. It's got Parramatta stuff all over it.
Yeah.
And then it's just, like, not really Bulldogs territory. Like, it's as I was saying before, like, Souths and Bulldogs deserve their own stadiums.
Yeah.
But they don't have them. And
well,
so it's sort of tricky.
The Doggies should just get a whole stadium built from, like, in the middle of Bankstown.
I think, like, either upgrade Belmore, but then it hurts as well. Like, you probably don't want to upgrade Belmore.
Like, add a grandstand on the hills.
Yeah, but maybe do something. Like, Belmore's no different to, like, Brookvale and stuff.
Yeah.
But the problem, like, obviously, it's not up to NRL standard, and so the NRL don't pay to have games there. The Bulldogs have to pay out of their own pocket to play. There's that whole thing, and that's why we don't play many games there. But I think something's got to happen for Bulldogs and for Souths for them to have their own stadium.
And that's the only reason they're playing at Accor, because they don't have their own stadium.
Like, they really should have their own stadiums.
Yeah.
And, like, even, like, with Souths, like, they shouldn't be sharing a stadium with the Roosters.
But, yeah, that's
I don't want to get into the debate.
If Souths can share a stadium with the Roosters, the Dogs can share a stadium with the Eagles.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like it.
But then I think, and then if teams are sharing a stadium, though, the thing is that the stadium should be shared. It shouldn't be like, oh, it's Roosters Stadium and Souths use it. It shouldn't be, it's Parramatta's Stadium and Bulldogs use it. It should be, it's both teams' stadiums, if that makes sense.
And that would make the rivalry a lot more fiery if they both had the same stadium.
Yeah. And so, it's just like, right now, there's not really any other option. Like, Bulldogs don't have a stadium, Souths don't have a stadium. Yeah. Like, that's just how it is. And so, if you're playing only big games at Accor, then, like, there's not really anywhere else for the Bulldogs to play except CommBank.
Yeah.
There's not anywhere else for the Souths to play except Allianz.
Yeah. All right. Your first question, I guess.
My first question, which one should I do first? I've got some good ones. I'll just go top, bottom. Will Eels win either of their next two games, following on from last week?
Yes.
You think they're going to win one of the next two?
I reckon they'll beat the Roosters.
Because that's what you said last week as well.
If they lose this game, I reckon they'll beat the Roosters, and I'm still sticking with that.
Because I asked you last week about the three.
I reckon they're going to get a win within the next two games.
Yeah, I don't know.
Still tossing up against the Panthers, but we'll talk about that
I don't think they can beat Panthers. And then I think
by
the time they play Roosters, who are coming off a bye, I just don't know.
Yeah, I think they're definitely.
But you reckon they'll beat Roosters, or just win one of them?
Yeah.
All right, your question.
Top three rookies so far this season.
Jacob Preston. I can't go past Jacob Preston. I can't think of too many. Like, Will Warbrick would be up there. Khan Pereira would be up there.
I got Khan Pereira.
Alamotti's been all right. Do you have, like, a list?
I have Jonah Pezzett.
I wouldn't put him top three yet.
Preston, and I've got Khan Pereira.
Yeah, I think I'd go Preston, Khan Pereira. Maybe Taruva, he counts as a rookie.
Taruva was close as well.
I saw Clarkey put up a thing, actually. Let me see if I can pull that up. He did a thing of, he's doing power rankings of rookies, and he's got like the top 10. Let me see if I can pull that up. Shout out to Clarkey's NRL column. I sometimes like his stuff and I sometimes dislike his stuff. Do you follow him?
I do, yeah. I like his stuff.
There's just some things, he's got some controversial takes, I think, but like, good on him for putting his takes out there. Like, that's what we're doing here. We probably have some really dumb takes. I got 3 out of 8 or 4 out of 16 or something. So look at that, Jacob Carraz. It's definitely is somewhere. But yeah, I've definitely got Preston somewhere. Like, I'd almost put him at number 1. I don't know if that's biased though, but I think he's been really good. And then I think Khan Pereira, especially after his performance on the weekend, he was really good. I can't find this list. It must have been quite a while ago. Must have been before the round, so we'll just leave that.
Yeah, are they your top 3?
So I'll go Preston, Khan Pereira, and I'll put Taruva there.
Okay.
Just because I can't really think. Like, I'd put Taruva over Warbrick and Pezzett. And I can't really think of anyone else.
That's fair enough, I guess.
Do you have any other rookies you can think of? Like, obviously Alamotti, but I wouldn't put him.
Yeah, Alamotti would be up there. Taruva would be up there. I guess Shaquai Mitchell could be counted as a
is he a rookie?
He played a couple of games last year.
If he's a rookie, I'd put him top 3.
I think people are still including him as a rookie.
I think he might be, because you got to play 6 games to not be a rookie.
Oh, yeah, then he is a rookie.
I'd put him top 3. I'd put him at number 3. He's been good.
Yeah. Shaq me.
My second question was, can Storm realistically miss the top 8?
It can happen, yeah.
Realistically.
I wouldn't rule it out. Like, I want to see him play with Munster back first.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
I wouldn't rule it. Like, I cannot say yes or no. Like, even if you said that for the Panthers, I wouldn't rule it out.
Yeah, even for the Panthers.
Even for the South. Like, any team can miss the 8. Yeah. Well, it's not even that. I just think with how close it's going to be.
Yeah.
Like, I can see a world.
I've been saying it like...
It's hard to say, but I can see a world where Penrith missed the 8, which, like... Yeah. It's probably going to be stitched, but, like, same the Storm, same the Rabbitohs, I can see a world where they miss the 8.
And I've been saying it all year. I think I genuinely really do think between 4th place and like 10th place, 2 points.
Yeah, so do I.
I really do see that happening.
I think more, not 10th place, 12th place.
Yeah, like that could happen. Like, they really could be 2 points in between, and it's just for and against.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm saying, like, this Bulldogs-Warriors game, just as an example, is such an important game.
Well, that game for both teams. That game on the weekend was important for the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
To get their for and against that, because they're going to be.
You got to get for and
they're
against.
They're going to be in that proximity.
And
issue.
Even just the 2 points, though, like, that's such an important 2 points.
Yeah.
Like, that can be the difference between coming 10th and coming 14th.
Yeah.
It really can. And for and against as well. Like, us blowing that lead, that could really come back to bite us.
Yeah, I know.
Like, we went from being...
the Dogs will be in that proximity.
If we scored another... So we're up 26-6. If we scored one more try, we would have been in 4th.
Really? This week?
We would have been in 4th.
Ooh.
And then we concede all those points and now we're in 8th. Like, that's what it's like. And I think, obviously, it's early days, so that's more likely to happen now. But I think it can stay that way. It'll be crazy. So, yeah, you don't want to say if they could... You're saying it wouldn't surprise you.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise
there's a world in which it happens. All right, your third question.
What was my third question? Oh, okay. It's a fun one for you.
Uh-oh.
Do you think Josh Adokar makes his way back into the Blues side this year?
I think he should. I think he should be picked, but I think the way Brad Fittler is, especially I reckon he's stubborn as. I don't think he'll be picked.
You reckon?
I think maybe Squatty might get picked, but just the way Brad Fittler is, I don't see Brad Fittler picking him. To be honest, I think he should be picked.
He'll cop it again.
I definitely think he should be picked, but Brad Fittler's just stubborn, and once he makes a decision, he tries to make it work. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know if he will be.
Boys
You got Toto, Suoli'i, Turbo, Latrell, comeback, Tupou. Like, it's like, because Suoli'i is not playing centre.
Yeah, he's playing centre.
Well, like for the Roosters, but for New South Wales, like, barring injury, Tom Trbojevic and Latrell are the centres. Yeah. And Toto's a winger, and I'd lock those three in it. Team, yeah. And so your option is to either play him on the wing, or you play him at centre and move Turbo to the wing. Yeah. And then he also will want to fit Wyden in there somewhere. And then Matt Burton comes into the equation as well because he was really good in Origin. And so, as a centre, and so, like, just the way Fittler is, I just don't see Adokar getting into it.
He's going to cop it.
He should cop it because I think Adokar should be picked. But he just... And, like, you could throw Crichton into the mix as well. Like... New South Wales are spoiled, though, to be fair.
Yeah, I know. They got so
But then at the same time, Philly just makes some dumb decisions.
Crichton won't play Origin.
Oh, no, but like he's in the mix,
Campbell Graham will be up there.
Campbell Graham's in the mix, yeah. Like, there's just so many to pick from. Yeah. And I think there's a world in which because then most of them are centres, there's a lot of centres, and so he'll, like, push Turbo to the wing or something. My third question, who is the form halfback of the NRL right now?
Right now?
Yeah.
We touched on
off the last 3 weeks.
Adam Reynolds.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Adam Reynolds? That's who I was thinking as well. I think Adam Reynolds is the form halfback.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Like, career best form. Like, he's at that point where he's at the peak of his career, but I'm worried he's an injury away from...
that is the worry.
Don't want to see him get injured.
Because last year he was very injury-plagued.
Can't get over just how, whenever he touches the ball, just how good he is with it.
He just gets it right
calm,
every
just
time.
So perfect. His kicks just go in the right direction. He bounce correctly. Just so good.
Yeah, that's why I asked the question because I had Reynolds in mind. I think he's the form halfback right now.
Yeah.
All right. Round 4 previews. Before we get into it, I forgot to do this last week. Shout out to PickleBet. If you're going to place a bet on any of these games, do it with PickleBet. Have you bet with PickleBet yet?
I haven't yet.
You got to sign up for PickleBet.
Worried about gambling at the moment, but
you're going to
PickleBet were the one I do.
Well, if you are worried about gambling or if you're having a problem, Zane, there are people that can help you. Call 1-800-858-858. Don't ask how I know that phone number. You know Hello Sport? Do you know? Yeah, they have like a betting ad and they always say the phone number. And so I've got it memorized. And always gamble responsibly, only for 18 plus.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You always gamble responsibly.
Yeah, definitely.
Doggies 13 plus. House on the Doggies every week.
Yeah.
All right. Almost game of the week. Grand final rematch to kick us off on a Thursday.
I feel like we've been pretty on the same page with all our tips. I feel like we might have a few differences this year. Yeah. I know there's one that will be different on, but we'll get there.
All right, Eels, Panthers. Panthers are coming off the bye, but there's nothing really changed in the team lists.
Yeah.
What do you
Madison's
got?
back, huge in for the Eels, but...
Yeah, that and Madison's back,
During the last few years, the Eels have been the Panthers' bogey team during the regular season. But I just think I've got to tip Penrith. I just cannot tip the Eels.
It's at CommBank as well.
Like, I can see a world where the Eels win this game, but I just think Penrith are just going to be too good.
Yeah.
But, I mean, to be honest, like, no one expected the Broncos to beat Penrith, and South nearly beat them as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like Penrith are the side they were. Like, we forget, 2 weeks ago. Like, they had the bye last week. Like, it's...
Yeah.
I'm going to tip. I'm going to go... Penrith won the 12, and who scores against the Eels? Stephen Crichton. Crichton in the score.
I'm also going to go Panthers 1-12. I just think that would be too good. I sort of forgot that Eels were a bit of a bogey team for them, but I think they've got a point to prove Penrith still.
Yeah.
Like, there's still doubters out there, and they're going to want to prove them wrong. So I'm going 1 to 12. And who better to prove it wrong but against your rivals in the grand finalists? Especially, like, Eels are rolling 3 and Panthers are like, let's make that worse for you. And then I've got Cleary anytime try scorer. I think he really comes out and makes a statement. I think he's in for a big game this week. Yeah. Storm Tigers. Munster is named. He's still in a little bit of doubt, but it looks like he's going to play. Hughes is out. So in comes one half, out goes the other. And the Tigers changes. They moved, from memory, they moved Dewey to fullback. They brought in Wakeham to play 5'8". They dropped Nofaluma.
I think I might miss my train if we go over.
Yeah. Tupou came in. Bateman's in the side. Papali'i's back. Yeah. It's mad. They've got Laurie on the bench. It's madness. What do you make of Storm Tigers?
I know we were just banging on about the Storm before, but I'm tipping Storm 13 plus Munster anytime. Munster.
I've got the exact same tip. Storm 13 plus, and I've got Munster back from his broken finger. And with Storm struggling, he comes in and he's like, I'm back. Scores a try.
He'll score a big line break try.
Yeah.
He definitely will.
And make it. Just like I've got Cleary to make a statement, I've got Munster to come in and have a big game. Dolphins, Broncos, the Battle of Brisbane, the first one ever. I saw Fox League hyping it up as the biggest crosstown rivalry in rugby league. Shout out to South Roosters that just doesn't exist anymore. Come on. Kafusi obviously is out.
Huge loss.
It's at Suncorp, but it's a Dolphins home game.
Yeah, but we've seen the Dolphins in occasional games. They're up for it. Yeah. They'll be up for this one.
Oh, yeah.
But I think with how the Broncos seem to be going in their games, it's a wild tip, but I'm going to go Broncos 13 plus.
Yeah?
13 plus, yeah.
And who do you think would score a try?
I'm going to go with him again, Reece Walsh.
Oh, I like it. You can't go wrong with Reece Lightning. I've also got Broncos 13 plus.
Jeez, I thought we were going to be a bit different.
Yeah, all right. Hey, I was going to go 1 to 12, but I've just got a feeling. I've got a feeling that they're going to just run away with it at the end. And then I've got Herbie anytime try scorer. I think they can expose that weaker edge of the Dolphins. Not that it's a weak edge, but just the weaker edge. Oh, this is great content, Zane. Us just picking the same teams and try scorers. Goodness me. Cowboys, Titans. Ruben Cotter is out. And obviously, Drinky's still out as well.
I want you to make your tip first. I was the same.
I'm on the Titans 1 to 12.
So am I.
And I'm on Broomdog Millionaire. Anytime try scorer.
Yeah, I am Titans 1 to 12 as well. I'm going to go Tanner Boyd to get a try in this game.
Oh, same.
Great
minds.
You wait until the Sunday game.
Yeah. Oh, that's just good stuff because I'm always so
wrong
I think
as well. Titans have been impressive. Cowboys a bit at the moment. I think Titans are going to get over him in this game.
Yeah, I think the way the Titans played against Storm, their defense needs to be fixed up. Bad.
Their defense needs a lot of fixing up, but I think the Titans at the moment. I think Cowboys got a lot of confidence from that Storm game as well.
Cowboys missing Cotter as well. I think
he's a huge loss.
That's a big loss, especially with Drinky still out.
To be exact, I think this could end up being high score. And I reckon like Titans 28 to 20.
Yeah.
To be like
another sort of like that Storm game where it's just not much defense.
To the Titans.
Yeah, I think that's a good prediction. Obviously, I've predicted the same thing. Yeah. But South's Manly. Souths are missing quite a few of their forwards. Obviously, Rookie of the Year, Shaq Mitchell is out. I'll go first again if you'd like. I've got Manly 1 to 12. I did notice Souths are favourites. Yeah. And pretty heavy favourites.
Why wouldn't they be?
They're looking good.
This is our first home game of the season, and it's also in the last week become an occasional game because it's now going to be a memorial game for John.
Oh,
you've made your tip.
Oh, I forgot about that.
You made your tip.
Oh no,
we've also had these jerseys made.
Yeah,
they look sick.
How good do they look? Have you done a jersey review of it yet?
I haven't yet.
Wait for the official design to drop.
Yeah, for it to drop.
Yeah, I think they'll come out today.
I'm in the burrow for this game as well.
I forgot.
It's an occasional game, first home game of the year. I'm tipping South 13 plus. And then my anytime try scorer.
Go on.
It's a bit shaky last week with Cody Walker.
I think you're going to get Latrell. I won't change. We've got to keep it interesting.
So I'll stick 13 plus.
I said 1 to 12. Right, I said 1 to 12. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
That surely Souths win.
Yeah, they have.
Do you remember the Tigers game they played?
I reckon they win this 30 to 10.
If they're winning, I reckon
it's going to be a huge win for them.
I've got Garrick anytime try scorer just as well.
And I'm a bit shaky about Manly in their defence as well. Because, Souths are...
It's their first away game too.
Yeah, Souths are a side that can exploit weak defence, and I'm worried about Manly's edge defence. And this is the first game, or first time Latrell and Turbo have gone up.
Yeah, I saw that. How crazy is that? Because
one of them's been injured or suspended every
time.
How
insane is that?
Every time
the New South Wales centre pairing.
That's going to be a good match-up to watch as well.
They'll both be wanting to make it.
You watch, this will be the game where one of them gets injured. Latrell or Turbo.
I just want to... Do you remember the Tigers game where they played for Tommy Raudonikis?
Yeah, and they got
destroyed.
That won't happen. We're not the Tigers.
I'm not saying that'll happen. I'm just saying, remember that. How embarrassing are the Tigers?
Just a sideswipe at the Tigers. They suck. Warriors, Bulldogs.
Actually, are you able to look at who's reffing the South Seagulls? I swear to God, if Sutton is.
I don't know if it's...
I can ref last Friday, the Rabbitohs Roosters.
Does it normally say on the NRL website?
It does, when you go to the lineups.
Yeah.
Because last week, every time Klein refs, and he loses control, it's really funny.
Yeah.
He just doesn't know what to say, but with Sutton, he just slows the
You got Sutton. You're Chris Sutton.
Oh, Chris Sutton, not Jared.
Yeah, Ashley Klein's in the bunker.
Yeah. Okay, so it's not Jared Sutton.
That's Chris Sutton,
yeah.
But so you got South's 13 plus. Yeah. I can't believe I forgot about that. Warriors, Bulldogs. I want to go first again. Make it interesting. There's no Wade Egan as well. It's in New Zealand. The Bulldogs haven't won since 2014.
In New
Zealand. 2014. That's a lot. That's when we made the grand final.
Yeah.
And
you made it from 7th.
And from memory, now just going off. Obviously, there's been a couple of years we haven't played in New Zealand, to be fair. But from memory, we always get towed up as well. I remember last year we played in New Zealand. I was on TikTok live watching them. We got flogged, 40-18 or something. I think, in my gut, I'm thinking Warriors do a job on the Bulldogs and make a statement and say, hey, we're a top 8 side. But that's my gut. In my heart, Doggies 1-12. Alamotti gets his first try of his career.
You said it all spot on there. The Warriors have a very good record over the Dogs in New Zealand. And I think this is their first game at Mount Smart as well for the year. And they're going to want to make a statement because, they've got a lot of confidence now. They gave it to the Roosters. They beat the Cowboys. I'm tipping Warriors 13 plus.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
He's going to score SJ.
Sean Johnson back
at Mount Smart. He's going to step past all of them by himself. It's going to be incredible. I'm really on the Warriors bandwagon at the moment.
Do you ever tip against Souths?
I do, yes.
You do?
I've tipped against them against the Roosters.
Yeah.
For the last few years, and they always win.
Yeah,
so I should have done it. I do tip against them if I don't think they're going to win.
I don't really tip against the Bulldogs, but that's if I'm being completely honest, I think Warriors win 13. I think 13 plus as well.
But you're tipping the Dogs.
I'm going Bulldogs 1-12. I can't go against the Doggies, especially the way we are this year. It's likely. It's not likely, but they're a good chance of winning a game. And I hate tipping against them and then they win.
Yeah.
Because I feel I did that once last year. For the first time ever, I tipped against them when we played Roosters.
And they won.
And then they beat the Roosters, and I was like, I'm never tipping against them again because it was the worst feeling.
Yeah, I only tip against South if I'm at a point in the tipping comp where I'm very
you need it,
win,
Well, I went to tip Warriors this week. That's how. I really don't see us winning, but I do as well. Bulldogs 12. Knights Raiders. Dom Young has been dropped from the Knights side. Did you see that? He's not injured. He's dropped. They dropped him. Jesus. Can you believe that?
Send him to the Roosters now.
Yeah, that'll be one to watch if he goes to the Roosters or just somewhere.
I feel bad if they do that. I'll feel bad for Jackson Paulo because he was good on Friday night.
Yeah, he's been good.
Pisses me off because I get sick watching him.
Yeah,
bad flashbacks.
Yeah, what
just
do
like you watching your Jade Knockenball.
I don't have to watch Jade Knockenball. He just sits on the bench. Yeah. I can't wait to watch him fly to New Zealand just to sit on the bench for 80 minutes again. But what do you think? Knights Raiders.
I think Raiders, they were impressive last week. They weren't incredible, but the Knights are just dreadful.
Yeah.
And where's this at? It's in Newcastle.
Yeah, it's in Newey.
I still think Raiders win. I think they win 13 plus, but when I say 13 plus, I reckon 16, 18. And my anytime try scorer, how about back-to-back weeks? Corey Horsburgh.
Oh, he's got a double, didn't he? How good. The ex-Bulldogs legend, Corey Horsburgh, played one game for us.
Oh, yeah, I know. In that year,
with the COVID, we had no players. I've got Raiders. I'm going Raiders 1-12. I think what I saw from the Knights against the Dolphins, they did grind the game out. And I think Raiders, they've been in close games this year, so just gut feeling. I think it'll be a close game, but Raiders should win it. And so I'm on a 1-12, and I'm going Jackie Wyden.
Yeah.
Anytime try scorer.
Yeah,
I think
he
can
probably would
through.
score against that nice defense. It's pretty pathetic.
Bit of Jack Wyden magic. And then to end the game, the local derby, Dragons, Sharks, Nico Hines comes back.
He is. And the Dragons always are up for this game. There was that game.
And it is at Cogra.
There was that game in Wollongong in the pouring rain last year where they got hammered.
Yeah.
But this is a dry game. I reckon it could be very close. But, Hines is back. It's at Cogra, and the Dragons do put up a fight there. I'm going with the Sharks 1-12.
Sharks 1-12.
Anytime try scorer. I was just trying to think who's on Ravalaro's side.
Yeah.
I think it's Mulatalo.
Yeah, it would be. Ravalaro's left, right?
Yeah.
And Mulatalo's right. So
Ravalaro,
they mark up on each other.
So Mulatalo and try scorer.
I'm going that game you mentioned, Sharks at Wynn Stadium, and Sharks flogged them. It was in the rain, but with that game in mind, I feel like that was the first time I saw Nico Hines, and I was like, oh, this kid can play. That's when I really started to see him as a good player. I thought he was overrated at the Storm. And with Hines coming back, I think that's an omen. So I'm going Sharkies 13 plus.
13 plus, okay.
I think they can.
And I can see where that happens.
Yeah.
I won't rule out 13 plus.
I think it's a good point you make. It was wet that game.
I think you said it. Are we overhyping Hines coming?
Yeah,
that's
which we'll find out.
I see people raving on Sharks are going to be elite when he's back.
And Trindle's been good. That's the other thing. Exactly. It's not like Trindle's been bad. But yeah, I'm just going off omens, and not really, but I've just gut feeling. I think Sharks 13 plus, maybe not win by 30, but maybe 14 or 16.
Yeah.
And then for any time try scorer, we've got Nikora, who will be running off Hines.
Oh, yeah, that sounds good. Nikora.
And the Roosters should get the 2 points against the Bye.
I hope they don't, but they will. But whatever.
You happy to wrap it up there?
Yeah, wrap it up.
We did do fantasy chat last week, but I can just wrap it up there. We'll come back to that next week.
We will, yeah. But it's going to be a good weekend.
Yeah.
Massive weekend of sport.
Not going to any games this week?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's right. You're going to South
Manly, but apparently the trains aren't running.
Yeah.
I've heard a rumour, so there'll be replacement buses, which I hope there isn't. But
that's Saturday night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope
that'll be good. That'll almost be game of the round.
Manly South, yeah. And it's a huge game for South.
That'll be a good game to be at as a South fan. Awesome. Thanks for watching. Shout out to PickleBet. Follow Zane on TikTok. What is it? Underscore Zane.
Underscore Zane Potter. Underscore then.
And I'm Winston.Neville. Follow us. Thanks for watching.